Epicataxin actually helped increase bench press and decrease myostatin. Hi, my name's Chris Collins. I'm the head of science at Muhdo Health, and today we're going to talk about a gene called MSTN. And MSTN encodes for a protein called myostatin. High levels of myostatin restrict muscle growth, and this restriction will lead to decreased hypertrophy response and will affect athletic performance. It's been shown that in knockout mice, when you knock out the certain variant associated with myostatin levels, they will have higher hypertrophy and higher muscle mass. And people naturally born with mutations also have this variant of increased muscle mass from having the genotype. We've done quite a bit of study in relation to MSTN gene variants and how certain things affect it. So today we're going to go through all those. Study 1 looked at bodybuilders primarily. These were male bodybuilders, and there were 92 in total. So we looked at a specific genotype within MSTN, one that is definitely associated with what's known as myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy. And this variation is quite uncommon. As we can see, you can have 3 different types of genotype within the variant that we looked at. That would be AA, AG, and GG. AA is the most common variant, and this is someone who has not got a mutation in MSTN. AG being a heterozygous mutation, and GG being a homozygous mutation. Now, no one had the homozygous mutation. This is very uncommon. However, 16 of the 92 did have. So we compared the AA group to the AG group in terms of pull-up max and push-up max data. So as we can see, that those in the AG group actually had an average pull-up max of 21, whereas those in the normal group only had an average pull-up max of 12. In the push-up max data, we can see that the max push-ups were in 1 minute, 61 for those in the AG group and 40 in the AA group, showing that there is a performance enhancement from having the genotype, which is uncommon. We also looked at the weight of all these athletes, and there was not much statistical difference between the weight of the athlete and their performance, in that those with the AG variant actually had an average increased weight, even though they were actually doing better at what would be considered a power to weight type movement like push-ups and pull-ups. So the AG group actually had a significant advantage in performance. Now, this improvement in performance will also have carryover into muscle hypertrophy, and also having that reduction in myostatin means that they most likely have that increased hypertrophic response as well. So in performance is improved as well as muscle hypertrophy being improved with that specific gene variant. Theoretically, anyone with the GG genotype will have a greater advantage. That was the first study we did, and all the links to all the studies that I talk about here will be in the description. The next study looked at a supplement called epicataxin, which is found in dark chocolate. It was at 250 milligrams per day. It was a general gym population who were all male. Now, this went on for 12 weeks. Again, we found nobody with a GG variation. However, those who have the AA variant actually got a much more significant increase in ability from taking epicataxin, whereas those in the AG group actually had a lower improvement. Although those in the AG group still had an advantage in the 3-rep max bench press, even against the AA group who were taking the supplement. However, post-supplementation, the groups were slightly closer together, potentially correlating with epicataxin supplementation and an increase in muscle performance from a decrease in myostatin. As we can see from the graph, in terms of bench press performance, those in the AG group didn't really gain much from taking the supplement. However, those in the AA group got a significant improvement. This might show that if you have a normal myostatin level, normal MSTN gene variant, that actually taking something which may decrease myostatin will have a larger effect to you than it would do to someone who was born with a mutation. Again, on the same study, on this graph, you can see that those in the AA group, those with the normal gene variant, actually had a much larger increase in body weight after taking epicataxin compared with the AG group. Now, we didn't test body fat percentage or muscle mass. However, it did show that those in the AA group had a significant increase in body weight when compared with the AG group from taking the 12 weeks of epicataxin. Now, study 3 was actually a very large study that we did looking at multiple genes and multiple genotypes. However, we'll just focus on the MSTN ones here. So this looked at our entire population that we have on record, and we had 1,876 females and 2,601 males. All of these people stated that they were regular gym users or athletes. So when we go through the profiles, we can see that the most common genotype is AA, which we know already. And actually 271 of our entire population had the AG genotype, and actually they nearly all competed in power, strength, or bodybuilding, with a certain selection of those actually at an international level. Only one person out of all the athletes that we test had the GG genotype, and this actually happened to be a 2-time world's strongest man. So we can see that may be one of the advantages from having that genotype. And this was the first study we did where that genotype came to light. So looking through our study, we can see that actually most athletes, most people who go to the gym actually don't have an MSTN gene variant. So it's not a limiting factor in terms of competing at any level. However, having the genotype probably does give you quite a big advantage, and we'll go more into this later on in the video. People try to do many things to reduce myostatin levels. That include things like resistance training, taking creatine monohydrate, epicataxin, and follistatin. However, there are other substances, other peptides, which have been proven to reduce myostatin levels. However, I'm going to go through the reasons why taking a supplement, even though it may be advantageous to your performance, may not be anywhere near as good as actually being born with the gene mutation, which reduces myostatin. Now, creatine is great without the myostatin lowering properties, which we haven't studied. Epicataxin, again, we did show that those with the non-mutated variant actually had some advantage from that. Resistance training has been shown to reduce myostatin levels to some extent as well. And other exercise has been shown to do that. Environmental factors and dietary factors may also reduce myostatin levels. Having a DNA mutation or being born with the MSTN variant, which decreases myostatin from birth, is normally the most advantageous version of lowering myostatin. This is because throughout time, throughout your growing up, your body has adapted to having those lower levels of myostatin, improving muscle mass and also improving tensile strength between your tendons and the muscle. And also other aspects of the body have been strengthening because you've had that from birth. Decreasing myostatins at a later date may not have that same effect. It will take a lot longer for that to start to happen. Therefore, the athletes who are born with the gene variant, which reduces myostatin from birth, will normally have a much larger advantage than those just trying to reduce it in adulthood. Please subscribe for some more videos that are going to be coming out shortly. Please let us know in the comments about any videos that you guys want us to do, any genes that you want us to go through, any performance stuff, or anything to do with training or nutrition, especially based around genes and epigenetics. We have actually got some epigenetic data on MSTN and how we might be able to alter expression levels. So that'll be coming shortly. And you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.